This is our video for Chapter 3, Section 7, Simplifying Algebraic Expressions. The two terms you need to define from this video are coefficient and term. Be sure to label the section in your notebook, number your terms, and define them when you see them in the video. A term is a number, a variable, or the product of a number and one or more variables. In an algebraic expression such as negative 2x plus 8, the parts that are separated by an addition or subtraction operation are called terms. So in this expression, negative 2x and 8 are the terms of the expression. Now the number before a variable is the coefficient. So if you're looking at 7x squared plus 3y, the coefficient is the 7 and the 3, because they're the numbers that are before the variables of x squared and y. Now let's talk about combining like terms. So if we look at this expression of 3x plus 4x plus 14, the things that are like terms are the things that have something in common. So for 3x and 4x, they're like terms because they both have an x. The 14 does not have a variable, so it is not a like term. So we can combine the two that are like terms, so 3x plus 4x gives us 7x. We don't have anything to combine with the 14, so you just bring that down. So now we have combined the like terms to get a simplified expression. Let's look at another one. So if we have parentheses 3h plus 4 plus parentheses 9 plus 12h. With the associative property of addition, it means we can move this stuff around and it doesn't really make any difference. So we're going to rearrange the equation or the expression so that like terms are together. So we'll, instead of 3h minus 4, we'll have 3h plus 12h together plus 9 minus 4. And now that we have them grouped so that like things are together, we can combine those like terms. So we have 3h plus 12h, which gives us 15h, then plus 9 minus 4 is 5. So 15h plus 5. Now, these are some properties that we have discussed in the past, but we need to refresh your memory because they're things that you need to be familiar with to do some of the simplifying for these expressions that we're going to do in this section. So, commutative is the one where it doesn't matter what order they're in. It can be a plus b or b plus a. It's all going to equal the same. The associative property is the one that we just did, where you can move stuff around within the parentheses and it doesn't make any difference. Then distributive is the one where you're going to take something where you're multiplying on the outside and adding or subtracting on the inside, and then multiplying everything on the inside by the number on the outside, which is what we discussed in class yesterday. Alright, let's try doing some more combining of like terms and using some of those properties we discussed on the previous slide to simplify some expressions. So if we have 8x plus 3x plus 6, we want to put the like things together. So instead of having the 8x by itself, we can change it and have 8x plus 3x together, and then the plus 6 by itself. Then if you simplified that, you would get 5x plus 6. Now for 5x plus 4x, you can actually use the distributive property for that because there's nothing besides something with a variable. So we're going to take what they have in common, which is the x, put the x on the outside, and what's left on the inside is everything left over. So we took the x away from the 5, so the 5 is left. Continue our plus from our original equation. Then we took the x away from the 4, so the 4 is left. So using the distributive property, we can simplify this expression. For the last one, 7x plus parentheses 6 plus 4x parentheses. Again, we're going to just rearrange things so that like terms are together. So we'll have 7x plus 4x together and plus 6 on its own on the outside. So then 7x plus 4x gives us 11x plus 6. This is just to show you that as long as everything is addition or subtraction, you can simply just rearrange things to make them make more sense, to go ahead and line things up in the order that is the most logical. Now let's look at generating equivalent expressions. Equivalent expressions are what we talked about in section 3.6 that we discussed earlier this week. But with this, we're going to use some of our properties, our associative property or commutative property, to rearrange these numbers so that like things get grouped together, and then we can simplify from there. So if we have our like terms together, so we're going to make 6x plus 3x inside the parentheses and 7 on the outside, which then would be 6x plus 3x is 9x, and bring down our plus 7. So our equivalent expression for 6x plus parentheses 3x plus 7 is 9x plus 7. Because we're not solving it, because we didn't have an equal sign in the beginning. We're just getting an equivalent expression by combining like terms. Go ahead and pause the video and try these two in your notebook. Now remember, when you're doing these, you can rewrite subtraction as addition of a negative number to make combining like terms easier. This is something we talked about back in chapter 1 when we were working with integers. Anytime you see subtraction, it's the same as if you were adding a negative number. A lot of times rewriting an expression like this makes it easier to see the difference, because a lot of times people would see the 3r and the minus r, and people would think, okay, there's 3 r's and there's 1 r, so that's going to give me 4r, and they tend to miss the minus sign. So if we look at it, 3r plus 1r, we know, or plus negative, 3r plus negative 1r should be there. It makes it a little clearer, because we know with integers, if you have if you're adding a positive and a negative integer, you're really going to subtract the two numbers, and then the sign of the larger number decides the answer. So 3 minus 1 is 2. 3 is the bigger number, so the answer is going to be positive, and then you just bring over your variable. Now let's try this with a word problem. Mr. Schrake needs to find the perimeter of his yard so he can install a fence. The dimensions are shown on the diagram. What is the perimeter of his yard? So if we look at the image, we can collect all of the dimensions for the perimeter. So we need the 3x, 2x, 3x minus y, y, another y, and then 2x minus y. Alright, so we're going to need to combine like terms so we can rearrange so that everything that matches goes together. So if we have 3x plus 2x plus 3x plus 2x. I like to cross them out as I rearrange them so that I don't miss anybody. Then plus negative y plus y plus y minus y. Alright, so if I combine these, 3x plus 2x plus 3x plus 2x, 3 plus 2 is 5, plus 3 is 8, plus 2 more is 10. So we have 10x, then plus negative y plus y minus y. So if we look at these, our minus and our plus are going to cancel out, and our minus and our plus are going to cancel out. So the perimeter is 10x, because all those y's cancel each other out. Pause the video and try this one in your notebook. 2. A drawing of Miss Stefano's yard is shown to the right. What is the perimeter of her yard? Be sure to write the original equation, and I want you to copy the diagram, this diagram here, into your notebook so that when we're discussing this in class and you're looking back at it later, you know what you were working with. Check your understanding. Number 1, vocabulary. What is the coefficient in the term 5x? Find an equivalent expression for each expression by simplifying. 2. 3x plus 9x minus 2. Number 3. 22y minus 19y plus 15. Number 4. 123 plus 13a minus 7a. Number 5. 10x plus 5x minus 45 plus 7y. Number 6. Open-ended. Explain why it can be helpful to simplify an algebraic expression. Alright, for all of these, be sure to write the original equation. Do not just write the answer, write the question as well. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and I'll see you tomorrow.